So I want to change the subject a little bit now, right? I want to talk to you guys a little bit about anger, right? This is something pretty good right here. Look at this. Look at this uh, image. We're just going to look at this image. This isn't a video or anything, but you see, what is that? What does that say up there?
Anger iceberg?
Yeah, anger iceberg. What is an iceberg?
Big floating piece of ice?
Yeah. Now the thing about an iceberg, though, as you can see, is only a little bit of it is above the water. The rest of it is below the water. However big the iceberg is, there's much more under the water. So when we get angry, the anger is the part that's on the surface, the part we can see. Under it, there are other feelings, other words, right? So it's saying icebergs are large pieces of ice found floating in the open ocean. What you can see from the surface can be misleading. Most of the iceberg is hidden under the water. So this is how anger works. Often when we're angry, there are other emotions hidden under the surface. That's the stuff we want to be able to talk about. So look, what are some of the other words? You see angry on top, but what are some of those other words?
Embarrassed.
Yeah.
Shame.
Rejected.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I'm on.
Guilt.
Yeah.
Nauseous.
Grumpy.
Insecure,
Yeah.
exhausted.
Worried, hurt.
Offended.
That's the stuff we want to be able to talk about.
Guilt. Yep.
See, because here's what people try to do. They try to control the anger without getting in touch with feelings that are under it.
I totally relate to some of those.
Sure.
Man.
We all feel that, right? And I cover it up with anger.
Worried, uncomfortable,
right?
Disappointed, guilt. Yeah, I think I could knock a lot of those off my list.
Sure. Because those are basic human feelings. We all feel that. But now here's the thing. I use anger to cover up those feelings. I don't want you to know I feel embarrassed.
I've always had that problem too. That's a problem. That's a huge problem.
You say you always had that problem?
Yeah, like I don't know how to react. Like someone gets hurt and then like I get angry and I don't mean to get angry. I just like
you just flash to anger, huh?
Yeah,
When something happens, yeah. But here's the thing to do: get in touch with those feelings underneath. I feel tricked. I feel rejected.
But that's what makes you angry.
Right. Those feelings, right? But if I realize that it's those feelings, then I don't have to get as angry, right? Because those feel, because men get points for being angry and being crazy. So that's what I show you. But underneath that, my feelings are hurt. And so really what I really want to say is that we're sensitive. Our feelings get hurt easy, right? My feelings get hurt real easy because there have been some times in my life where I didn't have the kind of tenderness, the kind of kindness that I needed, right? Regret, uncomfortable. Certain things she said make me uncomfortable, and I'll just get angry. But really under that is I feel uncomfortable, right? So this is important because remember we were talking about I statements. You can't make an I statement without the words that are under the iceberg. See, when you said that to me, I felt annoyed. I need you to not say it in that way. You can't make the I statement if you say I felt angry, because that's a feeling, but you're not really talking about your feelings under that, right? So when you came home late, I felt worried. Usually I just say, bitch, where you been? Right? I'm really angry, but I ain't under it, right? When you were late coming home, I felt disappointed, right? So without those, we got to get in touch with those feelings. Now here's the problem. Some of us, like remember we talked about being at the bottom of the hierarchy, right? So if you're at the bottom of the hierarchy, feelings don't really come into play like that. Like if you're standing on 80th and International, where I'm from, we don't talk about feelings. It ain't cool to talk about feelings there. Nobody interested in your feelings. Because I'm at the bottom of the hierarchy. I'm down here. So this is, in order for me to start using feeling words, that means I've done some work and I've moved up a little higher on the emotional hierarchy. You know what I mean? Where I know my feelings. I can talk about them now. I can talk about them now. I ain't out on the street. I ain't out with, the people on the soft white underbelly on Skid Row. They don't talk about feelings. Bitch, what's wrong with you? I'll kill you. You know that. Because that's where we at, right? But in your household, you want to move up to where you're using feelings. You talking about feelings. You helping your kids talk about feelings so that they're not acting out, getting angry, throwing stuff, tearing stuff up, that kind of thing, right? So it's like the environment that you're in. If you in prison, there ain't no need to talk about feelings.
Yeah, you better send that shit home to your parents.
Right. Right. So how are you living? If you're not in recovery around this kind of stuff, there's no need to use feelings. Right? Feelings work. You're still gonna be affected. You're still gonna feel all the feelings, but you don't express them that way. Like you say to a little kid, use your words. Right? Use your words. That's what we want to learn how to do. Use our words. Right? When you didn't
teach our kids that, but we don't do that.
Right. When you didn't pick me for the job, right? I felt rejected. I'd like to work more. See, that's really what it is. But instead I say, oh, that's just a bitch ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Use your words, right? And we can keep these relationships a little bit better, going a little bit better, right?
You gotta watch the words you use, though.
Yes. That's what I'm trying.
Can't just be using words.
Look. You bring up a good point. The conflict occurs from what we say to each other. The way that we're using words is extremely important. I can't talk out the side of my neck and think it's not going to spiral out of control. Mm-hmm. If I say, bitch, what's wrong? Right? Of you. Mm-hmm. It's predictable. Right? So your point is a good one. I really need to pay attention to my words. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying, the way I'm saying it, on the job. I can't pop off. Yeah. Right? I need the business. We use anger, right? We use anger in some ways, right? It's kind of important. Like some of us, so this is the iceberg now, right? Anger is up here. See, I show anger because, and you think I'm a bad dude, right? You think I'm bad. If I'm angry, you're going to leave me alone, right? Yeah. If I'm angry, you're not going to challenge me, right?
No, not necessarily. It's just I feel offended.
Right. But I mean, when you yelled at me, I felt disappointed. You didn't say that.
No.
Right? Because, right?
Men don't do that with their feelings to another man.
Right.
We don't talk that way.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
We don't say, "Are you hurt?" You talk to me the wrong way.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck are you saying? That's what you're gonna say, right?
Right. See, that's my point,
A female.
That's my point.
It's a whole different thing, A female can get away with a lot of shit, But man, we talk straight up. It's like, on the way here.
We got to be careful with anger, right? Because when we get angry, right, things start to happen. It starts a lot of negative stuff. Anger, right? I'm angry. So you said something interesting. You said guys don't talk about feelings, right? We start trying to intimidate each other, right?
See, maybe you talk about feelings with a guy, right? If maybe that's your brother, or your dad.
That's that.
Other than that.
Yep. You don't talk about feelings.
Maybe your best friend. Maybe your best friend, guy best friend.
Anger can cost us. We live in a society where people are packing.
Yeah.
Right? There's been a lot of shootings on freeways, a lot of people getting shot.
Shit, damn, the gun, that pen is mightier than that gun.
Right. And we don't need to be driving 100 miles an hour. Right? We don't need to be driving 100 miles an hour, emotionally driving 100 miles an hour down the street. And we need to, your point was still a good one. I have to be careful what I say, because what I say can lead to a very predictable outcome.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Where's that going?
In a negative escalating
It's gonna be all bad.
Yeah.
Right? It's just predictable. And I need to know that. That's a part of getting better. When I say how are we getting better, that's what I mean. I need to be aware of the impact that what I say to people and what I do, what that has on people. And now if you're walking around, like if you don't have any kind of life, right? It's easy to not care. If you're walking around with a bad case of the fuckies,
Yeah.
like, I still want to make it back to group on Sunday. Right? I still want to see my grandson tomorrow. So I'm careful with what I say to people. Right? Because I know that what I say can lead it someplace. If I come off and I'm, feeling upset, because sometimes I do feel upset and I'll say something short to you, right? But I'm trying to have enough self-awareness to know that I can start a lot of stuff just by the way I talk. How I'm feeling. If I'm angry, I need to stay on top of my anger. And so in order to stay on top of my anger, I have to be willing to explore, what am I really feeling? It's not anger. I'm expressing anger, but what I'm really feeling, I feel attacked. I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable, or I'm feeling a little bit inadequate. I'm feeling rejected. It don't feel good to feel rejected. People not choosing you. Remember when we were playing on the school ground? If I wouldn't pick first, I would have had some feelings. Come on, let's pick 10. No, I don't want him. We pick him last. No,
Yeah,
that don't feel good, man. So in order to deal with your anger,
I was always hating on, so I always got picked last.
right. Have a history of people not liking you, right? That I don't feel confident, so I just get angry and they back off me, right?
Yeah.
But really, that's not it. Really, I might be feeling a little bit of shame. I might be feeling inadequate, right? And I can't really say that because, like you said, we don't say that to dudes, but we really need to learn how to we need to put ourselves in environments where we can talk feelings. We need to come off the street now. We're not on the street anymore, right? We in here trying to get better, so we need to talk about feelings, right? If you want your relationship to be better, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that might be why you feel like she's telling you things a whole bunch of times, because, and that can make you upset. But we need to kind of like look at that though. Like, what you doing?
Yeah,
Right.
that's